Well, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Scout Tactical channel. So it's Thanksgiving weekend 2015. It's pouring rain outside, so I thought I'd do a gun review for you guys. I showed you this gun briefly 2 weeks ago when we went to the range with a few buddies that were new to guns, and I was cleaning it up and the other night, and I thought, I've never really shown this gun on camera. Let's do it. There aren't as many revolvers anymore as there used to be, and a lot of new shooters in the world think that semi-auto is really the way to go, and it's the only choice. Well, semi-auto may good and well be the way to go for a lot of shooters, but the revolver's still very much alive and well, and it's a very viable option if you're talking concealed carry, which is self-defense. If your life depends on it, I don't think you would find a better option than a 357 mag revolver in a self-defense situation. Now, I love the Bodyguard and 380. I love the Smith Wesson M&P Shield and 9mm. I've done both of these on camera, and these two guns are my most popular two reviews of all time. I did them a few years ago. So these are great guns, and I'm an M&P nut. As a police officer, I carried one on duty. So the Model 60, which is what that is, a Smith & Wesson Model 60 357 Magnum revolver, 3-inch barrel, not very common, and this is that Talo or Talo edition with the Hi-Vis sight and the special grips. Very nice gun. So I really enjoyed this gun. I think I literally bought it in 2005. So I've had it a good 10 years. As far as I can remember, maybe a few more, but I'm thinking '05. So as you see, it's a 5-shot revolver, holds 5. It's the Smith & Wesson J frame, J, the letter J. As you know, they have the J, the L, the N, the X, and the higher you go in the letter up the alphabet, the bigger the gun gets. So this is the 3-inch barreled, still concealed carry, quote, quote, sized revolver. It's a 5-shot. It shoots also 38 special. So the beauty of the revolver, you can go 357 mag for your self-defense needs. This happens to be a hunting round here, the Hornady Lever Revolution. But you go with a nice hollow point for your self-defense needs, and then you go with maybe a 38 special lead round nose or wad cutter or something like that just to practice with at the range. Why would you do such a thing? Well, the 38 has a lot less recoil and muzzle blast than the 357. So it's easier on the shooter and it's easier on the gun if you practice with 38s and then get to go, get to carry with your more full power 357 mag ammo. Now, you may have seen these if you're a new shooter. I've had a lot of people come up to me as a police officer, as a Texas concealed handgun license instructor in the past, as a former gun shop owner, and they said, well, it's just too complicated. There's too much to the revolver. I don't understand it. I don't know exactly how it works. It looks old-fashioned. I've heard all kinds of things about them. Okay, there is a little more to it, but then there's a lot less to it. It depends on how you look at it. For example, to load, you have to push the button this way, unless it's a Colt, it goes this way. So you push forward, and then you'd have to drop your rounds in. If you have extra rounds that are already spent, you'd have to push on the ejector rod and knock all those out. They would all dump out because of that ejector. See how that works? So you would pop it open, push the thing, it throws out the rounds. If they stick, you have to pull them out, and then you put them in one or two at a time, or with some type of speed loader if you have that, and then close it and go. So to load the gun and unload the gun is a lot slower. However, you would probably have this preloaded, logically, before you carried it in a concealed carry or a self-defense situation in your car, in your home, or what have you. The gun's loaded and it's ready to go. So other than the loading stuff, and you can get pretty darn fast at a revolver. Take a look at Jerry Michalek a little bit. He's the fastest in the world. But other than that, you have a gun that is very comparable. I'll show you the size difference. Very comparable to one of your small compacts or subcompacts. In this 3-inch barrel, and normally the length is 2 1/4, it's just fine. This is a 22-ounce gun. This is a 12-ounce Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. This is a 19-ounce Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm, and the subcompact Glock 26 and 9mm, 19.75 ounce. So it's right there. Maybe 3 more ounces than some of these single stack 9s. This holds 6 or 7, depending on the caliber, depending on the magazine length. They have a couple of options. This holds 5. Guns are very comparable, and the 357 mag, as you see here beside the little 380, see the difference? 357 mag, way more power, way more power in a self-defense situation. Do you need to have tons and tons and tons of supercharged power? Not necessarily. I'm not advocating that, but I'm just saying you're talking about 190, 180 foot-pounds out of a 380. You're talking about 350 or so out of a 9mm, depending on the round. And then you're talking 4s and 500s, even up to 600 on a real hot 357. So you get more recoil, but the gun weighs a little more, so those kind of balance out, and you get a lot more power. So that would probably help you if that's something that you need. Now, all three of these are just fine for concealed carry. All three of those are just fine for self-defense because they'll do the job against a bad guy. Heaven forbid you ever had to use it. Revolver. So as you see, it's super slim. Show it to you with the M&P shield. This is a single stack gun, meaning all the rounds are in one row. They're not staggered. This is the revolver. So the frame is way thinner, but the grips stick out a little and the cylinder sticks out a little. So yeah, it gives up some, but it wins in other categories. The revolver may not be for everybody, but I am telling you, if you're new to guns and you have not tried one, you owe it to yourself to own a revolver. Be it a 3 or 4 or 6 inch barrel for maybe a target or a hunting application, be it the little 3, the 2 1/4, the 2 1/10, the 1 5/8, whatever, for a self-defense situation, a revolver is still a viable option in the self-defense world. Now, 300, 350, 350, 400, 450, depending on where you find these, and then you get into 400 to 500 on a revolver like that. But the Smith Model 442, which is a black gun and 38 only, doesn't do 357, you're still seeing those at the 350, 399 mark. So the revolver's there, probably a little bit more than some of those semi-autos on the table. Probably a little bit, $50 to $100 more. But you get a great gun, real fun to shoot, easy to teach new shooters to shoot one. You get a great trigger pull. Remember that it's double action, meaning when you pull the trigger, and again it's unloaded, when you pull the trigger, watch the hammer right here. When I pull this trigger, see the hammer coming back? Yeah, just real easy to shoot. And then you could, of course, cock it first. That puts the hammer all the way at the back, and you have what's called a single action shot. Real light, real crisp, easy to shoot, real easy to teach people trigger control and trigger press on. I like the revolver. That's a great option. So if you're trying to teach some new people to shoot, if you want something that is more powerful than your standard 9 and 40 and 380 and all these things that are on the market, even 45, something more powerful, maybe that 357 mag in a revolver is for you. I really think you should give one a look. Now, you may not find this exact configuration in stores anymore. Again, it was a limited edition. A lot of my stuff is kind of limited edition, hard to get little guns. I don't normally buy the super common models. But you will see they still make the Model 60 today, and you can go from there. Remember that the grips, whenever you buy, are removable, so you could go to some nice wooden grips like that or something. Okay, guys, well, that's it for this Thanksgiving gun review. The Smith & Wesson Model 60 3-inch 357 mag or 38 special revolver. I appreciate the views and subscriptions. Keep them coming. Like the video. If you remember, Scout Tactical is part of that 3-channel network. We have Scout Tactical, Scout Prepper, and Scout Hunter. Depending on your interest, check out all three and like all three channels. We're on the web at scouttactical.com. I'm still working on the new website coming out. We're on Facebook and Instagram with Scout Tactical. As always, thanks for watching.